Ffarquhar Fables. Read by TARDIS 9. A Day Without Pranks by TheDukeOfDank. Bill and Ben are known amongst their fellow engines for their pranks. Practically every time there's a chance, they are sure to try some sort of nonsense. Although only a handful of engines still mind their harmless pranks, there are still times where Edward, BoCo or Derek will have to try and rein them in. One morning, BoCo arrived at the clay pits to pick up a train for the mainland. "I have good news for you two," he told the twins. The twins were excited to hear this. What news? They chirped together. "Edward and I know an engine named Molly who works on the main line. She'll be coming down to Brendam with a rail tour, and we decided to let you meet her." Bill and Ben didn't seem enthused at first. However, BoCo knew how to change that. "She's painted yellow, like you two, but we'll only let you meet her if you behave yourselves." Now Bill and Ben were elated, but they stopped cheering and whistling when they noticed that BoCo was serious. "That means no pranks," he said firmly. "Don't worry about that, BoCo," peeped Ben. "We'd never prank an engine who knows what proper colour is." "Very well then," said BoCo. "She'll be coming to the docks tomorrow afternoon, so just behave yourselves at least until then." At first, the twins found themselves behaving relatively easily. By the afternoon, though, they were feeling the urge for mischief. Bill was ordered to bring a load of china clay for Donald's train, which was bound for the Little Western. As he shunted the trucks onto the train, he thought about moving the entire train to another siding. Then he remembered what BoCo said. Back at the clay pits, Ben was busy shunting some trucks for Derek to take. At first, he thought of leaving the trucks at the chute where they were being loaded. Like Bill, though, he remembered what BoCo had said and resisted the urge. That night, both engines spoke to each other in the shed. Fortunately, Derek was out with another clay load to the docks, so he wasn't there to hear them. "I'm not sure that I can go on without some sort of prank," moaned Ben. "Yes," agreed Bill, "but we both know what BoCo said, and we know how much we wanted to meet Molly tomorrow." "Maybe one small prank at the docks tomorrow, just as long as BoCo or Edward don't notice," asked Ben. "Perhaps we can do one after we meet Molly. The question now is, what prank do we pull?" Bill and Ben thought hard about this, but still couldn't think of one. "Maybe we'll get an idea tomorrow," yawned Bill, as they both went to sleep. The next morning, the twins were called to Brendam Docks to shunt in the yard. It was approaching noon, and they knew Molly would be arriving soon. Presently, Douglas arrived with a goods train, and Ben went to shunt away the trucks. Ben was enjoying himself when he began to feel strange. "I'm thirsty," he complained. His driver looked at the water tank and found it was near empty. "We'd better fill you up on water first chance we get," said his driver. "We'll just have to get these trucks onto a siding quickly and get you to the water column." Ben was so worried about running dry that he didn't notice he was shunting the trucks into the same siding as some special coaches, which were all the way at the back. Ben scampered to the water tower where Bill already was, and was just finishing when he heard some voices. "Douglas, BoCo, have either of you seen my coaches? Asked a feminine voice. When they saw who the voice was, they saw a beautiful woman of an engine. She had bright yellow paint, purple and bronze lining, and a white roof and wheel rims. She was speaking to the Diesel and the Scottish twin. What do you mean, Molly? Asked BoCo. I left my coaches at the station, said Molly, turning her eyes to Douglas. But now I can't find them anywhere. Do you know if someone shunted them by mistake? Ugh, dinna tell me you know that story, groaned Douglas. What story? I'll tell you later, said BoCo. Anyway, I think I might have a hunch who's behind this. Bill shot Ben a dirty look as Molly and Douglas went to look for the coaches. You idiot! Bill exclaimed to Ben. I told you that if we were going to pull a prank, we could only do it after we met Molly. But I didn't pull any pranks, Ben protested. I had to get the trucks from Douglas into a siding before I ran dry. Then you should have at least looked at where the siding was, exclaimed Bill. Now BoCo's going to be furious. Unfortunately for the twins, BoCo had heard Bill's outburst and he cruised up alongside. What's this I hear about a prank, Ben? He said sternly. Oh, for the last time, it wasn't a prank, protested Ben. I had to get water and just shunted the trucks into the first siding I could get them into. Surely you'd take my word, don't you? I'm not sure if I can, pondered BoCo thoughtfully. After all, Bill did say you two were... He was interrupted when they heard Molly giggling sweetly as she came up for a turn at the water column, while Douglas came into the station shunting the special coaches. You must be Bill and Ben, she said kindly to the two China Clay twins. I'm certainly pleased to meet you after what Edward told me. Pleasure to meet you too, Miss Molly, Bill gulped. I have to admit, she went on, that prank you two pulled was pretty clever, hiding something in plain sight like that. BoCo was going to vouch for the twins' innocence, but realised the twins had already decided it would be best to play along. So you're not mad about that prank? Ben asked nervously. Of course not, Molly replied happily. Edward told me that you're not too bad. And it's not like you caused anything too serious. As Molly had a drink at the water column and refilled on coal, she and the twins told each other everything they knew. They talked about Edward, life at the pits with Derek and Neville, and life at Tidmouth with the big engines and Emily. BoCo had joined in by the end, and they chatted well away until the enthusiasts on Molly's rail tour were ready to leave. It was an accident, said BoCo to the twins as Molly finally left for home. Though I will admit that after what Molly told me on the way down here, I'd have preferred it if it was a prank. Bill and Ben looked nervous again. Don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at you for any of this, continued BoCo, and I admire that you were able to avoid pranks for so long. Thank you, BoCo, said Bill somewhat shakily. No pranks were definitely worth it to meet Molly at all, right? Indeed, agreed Ben. Tell you two what, added BoCo. I had a prankster side too when I worked on the other railway. Since you were honest about it being an accident, I can share some of those pranks sometime soon. Bill and Ben were delighted. This side of BoCo was definitely going to be fun to learn about. But that's, naturally, another story.